I'm Brenda Quintana coming to you from the Beehive. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cute chocolate cozies using the Simply Scored scoring board, the Festive Birthday Designer Series paper, and the Thoughtful Banner stamp set. These chocolate cozies are just so cute. They hold 2 Ghirardelli chocolate squares in this little pouch in the front and the back. And these little squares, they just kind of tuck in like that. And then you just tie them up with a little bit of baker's twine, add a little greeting, and you have a special little birthday gift, or these would make great favors for a birthday party. I'd like to give credit for this design to Peggy No from the Pretty Paper Cards blog. One of my customers saw her design, but since we no longer have the diagonal scoring board, she didn't know how to make it. So I'm going to show you how to make it using just the Simply Scored scoring board. Without further ado, let's get started. To start off with, you're going to need your Simply Scored scoring board, and you're going to need to do one thing before we can score on it. You're going to take a black Sharpie and you're going to find the 6-inch score groove, and you're going to use that Sharpie to darken down that middle score line. This is going to help with alignment, and it won't affect your Simply Scored scoring board at all. Then just give yourself a moment to make sure that Sharpie mark is completely dry, and then you're going to take a piece of the Festive Birthday Designer Series paper, and I've cut this piece to 6 inches by 6 inches, and we're going to need to score this piece on the diagonal. So we're going to put one of the corners up at the top of the scoring board right at the 6-inch mark. So that corner is going to kind of tuck right into that groove. And then the other corner down here at the bottom, you're going to make sure it's pointing down on that score groove that we just darkened with the Sharpie. Then keep your hand on the paper to make sure it doesn't shift. Then we're going to score at the 5¼ inch mark. So just come down on that groove, and then when you hit the paper, just keep going. You're going to score at the 6-inch score groove. So that's easy, just come right down. And then you're going to score at the 6¾ inch mark. So just come down. Once you hit the paper, just keep on going all the way down. Then you're going to turn your piece of paper a 1/4 turn, and then you're going to put the point up at the 6-inch score groove again and line it up with the bottom on the 6-inch score groove. And then we're going to score at the 4½ inch mark and the 7½ inch mark. And that's all there is to scoring on the diagonal. So now you'll have a decision to make. You're going to see both patterns on this pouch. So you're going to need to decide which of the 2 patterns you want down at the bottom and which one you want peeking through at the top. In my case, I would like this Tempting Turquoise pattern to appear on the bottom. So I'm going to turn it over so it's facing down. And I'm going to want my 3 score lines to come across the center like this. And the 2 score lines are going to be coming up and down like this. Then I'm going to take one of the sides and I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to take the other side and fold it over as well. Then I've got this center score line, and I'm going to fold this piece in half along that center score line, and I'm going to match up these triangles up at the top. Then I can use my bone folder to smooth down that fold, and then I'm going to bend this one back and then flip it over and bend the other one back. And if you like, you can again use your bone folder just to help make that fold a little bit crisper. So there's our little pouch, and now we just need to hold it together at the top. So I'm going to make myself a little pencil mark right here up at the top. I'll just show you how that looks. And then I'm going to take my 1/8 inch handheld circle punch, and I'm going to line it up with the pencil mark. Now before you do that, make sure the 2 sides are perfectly aligned, and then just bring that in and give it a little punch. Then I'm going to take some Bermuda Bay thick baker's twine, and I'm going to need about 6 inches. Then I'm going to take the twine and I'm going to feed it through both holes at the top, like that. I'm going to match up the ends of my twine, and I'm going to wrap them both around my finger to make a loop. I'm going to cross over the loop, and I'm going to tie this into a knot, and then I'm going to carefully bring down that knot. Careful not to tighten it until I get really close to the top of my little holder here. And then once it's right at the top, I can tighten it all the way. Then I'm going to just trim off the ends. I want about 1.5 inches sticking up from the top. Then I want to fray these ends a little bit. And the best way I found to do that is to use my paper piercing tool and just start off near the top and start poking and kind of picking at the loose threads and just get them to kind of loosen up. Just start at the top, work my way down. So isn't that cute? Next, we're going to need some chocolate, and the chocolate I'm using is Ghirardelli squares, and they come in a lot of different colors. I chose this gold color because it works really great with other colors, but you can choose whatever color you like or whatever flavor you like, and basically you just tuck the chocolates into their little pockets, one on each side. It's really easy. You might be able to find another chocolate that fits in these pockets too, but it's really designed to work well with the Ghirardelli squares. And we can just set this aside for the moment. And we're going to be using the Thoughtful Banners stamp set to create a little greeting for the top of this holder. And the great thing about this stamp set is that it's got so many different greetings. Not just happy birthday, you've got Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation. You can just make a whole bunch of different combinations with these words. So it's a really versatile set. Then you're going to need a scrap piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to use my Tempting Turquoise ink pad, and I'm just going to open that up. And then the two stamps that I'm going to use out of the banner set are this outline stamp and the happy and the birthday. So I've got the outline already on a block, and I'm just going to stamp it down here. The bottom. Then the happy and the birthday are both individual words, so I've just lined them up on my block right here. I'm going to ink them up, and then I'm going to just line them up in my little outline and stamp them down. Then I'm going to take the classic label punch, open it up, line it up inside my punch right here. When it looks good, I'll punch it all the way through. Then you can bring your pouch back in, and I'm going to use a dimensional to adhere my label to the chocolate cozy. So I'm just going to cut one in half because it's easier to put half of one on the back. So I'll put half in the center or near the center, and then I'm going to put the other half right beside it, like that. I'll show you up in the camera. And then I'm just going to remove the backings off of them. And then you can just adhere it just above the chocolate. And when it looks good to you, you can just adhere it down the rest of the way. And there you go. You've got a really cute chocolate cozy, and you can make them in all the different papers of the Designer Series paper, and they would make just a great display for birthday favors. And we did it all with just the Simply Scored scoring board. All the supplies you'll need to make this chocolate cozy are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now.
If you like this tutorial, be sure to check out all the free with purchase tutorials available on my blog. The Hershey's Chicken and Egg tutorial is just one of the exclusive tutorials that you can choose free with a minimum purchase in my Stampin' Up! Store.